Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. The Mr. Marty Spooktacular Spectacular Show. The SpoOktober Spectacular Show. Well, we're so glad you're here, all my friends and me. Yeah, we're sharing some time, we're celebrating our family. Yeah, we got really nowhere else to go, so let's all get spooky on the Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show, Mr. Marty Show, the Mr. Marty Show. Yes, it's the Mr. Marty Show. Glad to have you on board. Mr. Marty, SpoOktober Spectacular. Something else in there, show.
Jack carries his soul in a turnip shell in the crook of his arm. Wanders the road alone at night for doing the devil harm. The turnip has two slits for eyes and another for its nose. The mouth is carved as in surprise, from it his red soul glows.
Jack of the lantern, wandering eternity. Jack of the lantern, one if he is seen. Jack of the lantern, sign of the cross, for ours his soul it might be lost. Jack of the lantern, wandering eternity. Jack of the lantern, one if he is seen. Jack of the lantern, sign of the cross, for ours his soul it might be lost.
Jackie was a thieving man, the kind the devil cursed. Jack fooled the devil to be a coin, kept him in his purse. The devil promised Jack he would never live in hell. Jack took the devil from his sack, threw him down the well.
Oh, Jack of the lantern, wandering eternity. Jack of the lantern, one if he is seen. Jack of the lantern, sign of the cross, or else his soul it might be lost. Jack of the lantern, wandering eternity. Jack of the lantern, one if he is seen. Jack of the lantern, sign of the cross, or else his soul it might be lost.
In heaven Peter locked him out, sent him straight to hell. The devil let out a frightened shout and locked him out as well. The spirits that see his lantern run away with a scream. That's why we carve the pumpkin every Halloween.
Oh, Jack of the lantern, wandering eternity. Jack of the lantern, run if he is seen. Jack of the lantern, sign of the cross, for us the soul it might be lost. Jack of the lantern, wandering eternity. Jack of the lantern, run if he is
carve your pumpkin scary, a candle you must light. On that evening eerie we call Halloween night, he'll scare away the demons, keep them from attack. Tell the devil himself, take care, it might just be your Jack.
Oh, Jack-o'-the-lantern, wandering eternity, Jack-o'-the-lantern, run if he is seen. Jack-o'-the-lantern, sign of the cross, or all is your soul that might be lost. Jack-o'-the-lantern, wandering eternity, Jack-o'-the-lantern, run if he is seen. Jack-o'-the-lantern, sign of the cross, or all is your soul that might be lost. Jack-o'-the-lantern, wandering eternity, Jack-o'-the-lantern, run if he is seen. Jack-o'-the-lantern, sign of the cross, or all is your soul that might be lost. Jack-o'-the-lantern, wandering eternity, Jack-o'-the-lantern, run if he is seen. Jack-o'-the-lantern, sign of the cross, or all is your soul that might be lost. Jack-o'-the-lantern, wandering eternity, Jack-o'-the-lantern, run if he is seen. Jack-o'-the-lantern, sign of the cross, or all is your soul that might be lost.
Well, tonight we're going to talk about ghost towns. You know, ghost towns. I'm not really familiar with it, but my partner here, Magoo, does. So this is MJ Howling turning it over to Ma.
Magoo. Well, today, with the ghost towns in Illinois, you wouldn't think there would be so many, but there are at least 10 ghost towns. But the first one that I'll talk about is Cardiff, Illinois. And yes, it was so going on with so much fun. They had stores, they had a school, they had the railroad, but they also had a mine. And it was a coal mine. Now, what don't we use now? Not much coal. And that is when that town became a ghost town, because the mills, the coal mines, they would collapse, and there were a lot of injuries, and people didn't want to go down in them, and it didn't make much money. So it disappeared. Yes, it's like they just packed everything and went in the wind. And then Bensonville.
Bensonville?
Not the same Bensonville you're thinking of, but this was a railroad town, and the railroad went through until it didn't go through. And what did they do?
What did they do?
They packed up and they went scurrying to a bigger town and left all of these houses empty. And they left their footprints and markings on these buildings that would never be housing people again. Oh my, yes. Well, there's others. If you look on the map and see where a railroad doesn't go, you will find a ghost town where people left. So get out your maps, start looking, and next year, write to me about ghost towns that you have found. This is
MJ Howling and
Magoo Moore saying peace. I'll be seeing you.
Campbelltown in New South Wales, Australia, must be the only community on earth that proudly boasts it is a ghost town. The legend of Frederick Fisher and his wily spectre dominates its early history and is celebrated every year with one of Australia's largest festivals. Sightings of Fisher's ghost are still a regular occurrence around the southern end of Queen Street, where he was murdered, and there are few residents who have not heard the tale of his demise. It all started in 1826 when a local settler, John Farley, staggered trembling into a Campbelltown inn, claiming he had seen the ghost of Fisher, who had mysteriously vanished 3 months beforehand. The ghost, according to Farley, had been sitting on the rail of a bridge which spanned the waterway now called Fisher's Ghost Creek, and was pointing to a spot downstream. When police and Aboriginal trackers searched the site, they found the grisly remains of Fisher's battered body buried in a shallow grave. Fisher's neighbour, George Worrell, who had earlier claimed the ex-convict had returned to England, leaving him in charge of all his assets, was hanged for murder. A local historian says the modern sightings of Fred may support a theory that Worrell wasn't the only person involved, and maybe the murder is still unavenged. Whatever the case, the world-famous ghost is now synonymous with Campbelltown. The first festival, officially named in the ghost's honour, was held in 1960, the local press hailing it as the most successful celebration yet.
Hello, Mr. Marty fans. Michael McScarry here again with the hollow head of Halloween, my good friend Jack-o'-lantern. As I'm sure you'll remember, last week we met our not-so-eager scholar by the name of Justin Todd. It was a hot day in Chicago, but not really hot enough to explain why our young hero had sweat running down his neck waiting outside Miss Marr's English class. And certainly no reason to explain why he was even more worried when he found out there was a substitute that day. In high school, the next best thing to a snow day is a substitute. Let's see how Justin is enjoying his temporary reprieve from higher learning. This is Just Returns, Episode 2. The Substitute Strikes Back. The substitute stared him right in the eyes. In the future, you will address me as Sir. Is that understood, Mr. Todd? The sub knew his name already. A series of oohs and ahs broke out from guys on either side of Justin. Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir, he said. But when the sub turned to pick up a book, Justin flashed a Nazi salute and muttered, Sieg Heil. Even a few girls tittered, and the laughter spread slow and steady towards the front of the class. Justin was still very hot, and his neck felt like it was set in plaster. But he had something to take his mind off all that. He got cocky. Sir, he said, what happened to old Minnie Mouse anyways? She finally eloped with Mickey? There was a slight hesitation in the laughter this time, like 30 breaths all taken in at once. But then, even Percy and Norma Jean joined in. Miss Minerva Mars had received her unfortunate nickname, Minnie Mouse, partially because of the sound of her name, partially because of her mousy appearance, but mainly because of an incident involving a white mouse named Mickey that escaped during a science fair she was judging. Miss Mars was a classic school marm, full of hard work and low grades. The name had stuck, bequeathed from one class to the next in regular succession, but it was never used in front of faculty, not even subs. The class waited in ghoulish anticipation. Norma Jean unconsciously began biting her nails. I believe it's long past the time when you should have been quiet, Mr. Todd. Justin recognized the standard "this is your last chance" speech. Addressing the class, the sub continued, "Miss Mars received a terrible shock last night. I'm taking over today." That answered part of Justin's question. The school knew about last night, but how much did they know? Why hadn't he been called down? For the first time, Justin let himself seriously consider the thought that maybe Miss Mars had not recognized him last night. Tune in next week to learn what the substitute is teaching. Anything you want to add, Jack?
Trick or treat.
Thanks, Jack.
And now, 30 seconds of...
Well, hello everyone. This is Colin McCormick, Marty's brother, and I'm out here in Bannock State Park. It's the original territorial capital of Montana. And it was here, way back in the early 1860s, that gold was discovered on Grasshopper Creek. And as you can see, it's not a tremendously big river. But when gold was discovered, that's all it took to get people to come out to this town. And very quickly, it became a boom town. And in a few minutes, we'll show you the town proper. And when you get here to Bannock State Park, there's a little visitor center right here in the first cabin. And I just kind of want to give a little bit of an overview here. This is Main Street in Bannock. It's a certified ghost town. Bannock is named after the Bannock Indians who inhabited this area along with the Lemhi Shoshone. Bannock, they think, is kind of a play on words from Scottish settlers in the area. It was basically a cake cooked over an open fire, and the Bannock Indians would do that with camas roots. This is the original schoolhouse with the Mason's Lodge above. See the remnants of a school play yard here. And we'll walk right into the school. A number of the buildings here in Bannock are open, so you can walk right in as we're doing now. And take a look into the Mason's Lodge inside. This may not show up that well on film, but all of the furniture and everything is still here from back in the day. I apologize for the reflections. So this is the Hotel Mead. This is a significant building for the 1890s in such a remote part of Montana. Oddly enough, when it was first built, it remained empty for quite some time, and it wasn't until like 1891 that it was purchased, the entire building, for $1,250. It was then converted into a really plush hotel. The original lobby to the Hotel Mead. Grand staircase going to the second floor. And this, believe it or not, is a safe. A number of parlor rooms where dining was held, gambling, card games, all kinds of other interesting behaviors, I'm sure. Typical hotel room from back in the day. But again, this was pretty high living. We're out in front of yet another one of the mainstays of town, and your local pub, your local bar. As you can see, walls were made of logs, not much in the way of insulation, but a tremendous oak bar. What ghost town would be complete without a ghost church? This is the Methodist church that was built in the 1870s. Behind a lot of these cabins are, of course, outhouses. A number of cabins were built in the hillsides just above the main part of the town. What frontier town wouldn't have a jail? More residents that we're going to just pop our eyes into here. And I appreciate this opportunity to share this spot of Montana with you. Colin McCormack for the Mr. Marty Show.
Black night, slipping through the towns, click clacking in a rhythm with the baying hounds. Over in the diner sits a headless chap, tries to scratch his forehead, tries to find his hat. He's riding on the ghost train, yeah, ghost train through the night. Riding on a ghost train, yeah, ghost train through the night. The cars are full of riders, none of them alive, not knowing where they're going, what time they'll arrive. It's a real collection of the darkest souls, thieves, killers, and madmen. From the blackest holes, they're riding on a ghost train, yeah, ghost train through the night. They're riding on a ghost train, yeah, ghost train through the night. stations. This train, it'll never stop. Molly's in the sleeper, hatchet by his side. Jim's playing with fire, looking kind of fried. Billy the outlaw, he's got his pistol cocked. He wants to shoot his way out, but the exit's blocked. He's riding on a ghost train, yeah, ghost train through the night. He's riding on a ghost train, yeah, ghost train through the night. He's riding on a ghost train, ghost train through the night. He's riding on a ghost train, yeah, ghost train through the night.
Gee, Squid, thank you for saving me from those nasty, scary things. No problem, Octopi. But hey, what are you being for Halloween? Well, I'm being an octopi. What about you? I'm being a squid. Anyway, yeah. Happy Halloween! Be safe and have fun. Bye-bye. Wait, but guys, you didn't let me show my costume. Isn't it scary? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the show. I hope you did enjoy our spectacular Halloween shows, which come in 3. Bye-bye.